Morning everyone. This is my new car. This video is for both my channels, as one of them is mostly for car stuff that I don't post too often at, and the other one is my 3D print everything channel, which I plan on making this one of my marketing cars. Well, the only one I have so far, and the first one. So this thing is called a Spira. This is a 2016 model. Car actually has a really cool history, so I'll go a little bit into it, or at least the company is. So I bought it from an owner who had that salon. So we're gonna work on taking that off. I just hadn't got to it yet. There's his website. I'm probably gonna take this panel off too, just to make it a little cleaner. But yeah, as you can tell, this is foam. And unfortunately, I have a lot of cats, and they're gonna love tearing this thing up. So I've pretty much today got to clean out my garage to the point that I can fit this in there to prevent them from ruining the foam any further. Now luckily the foam, this is a company that is still in production today. They're mainly in Thailand from my understanding, but they have a US warehouse with parts. I haven't confirmed how many cars are in the US, so this is, man, this was not here. That's literally from overnight from my cats. So they're going to continue to tear that foam up until I just completely protect the car. And you know, comment down below what you think on how I could, you know, maybe put a shell over the foam. You know, maybe I scan this body and then 3D print panels and glue the panels to it so that their nails can't get through the panels there. But you know, the foam itself is replaceable and apparently pretty easy to do. Everything is pretty replaceable. I've got a really, the user's manual and the parts list gives you a complete blow up of the whole car, all the parts, where you can buy them. So it's really, really neat. And here, I'll give you a tour of the inside. But this one here, 2016 model, technically registered as a motorcycle. So I actually need to go grab my motorcycle license. We've signed up for that. Oh, I guess 2017. I said 2016. It's 2017. And if you didn't catch that, look at the weight. It is 420 kilograms or 924 pounds. So with my butt in it, we're going to be just peaking, you know, 1,100 pounds driving down the road, which is probably one of the lightest weight vehicles you can get. It is a three-wheeler, if you didn't catch that. It does need a bath. That's what I'm going to do next. I just felt like doing the video first. But one of the neat things is the electric motors are in the wheels here. So, and it has this kind of dual coilover setup on either side here. So it's nice and secure. We got disc brakes when you need to brake, but it does have regen, so when you let off the throttle, it'll go all the way down to stop, which is really nice. So if you're driving it gingerly and you know you're going to come to a stop, you can just let off the gas and it'll stop you, regenning that motor. Here is our charger, and then below, that's our battery pack. Now this one, from my understanding, you can fit 2 more of these in here. So this is the lowest model electric one, where we've only got 1 battery pack in it, and this should give us new around a 50 to 60 mile range from my understanding. We might test that one day, but it's not my intention to absolutely run this thing out. Oh, look, there's a Sharpie mark, 1509 or something like that, 15D9, I don't know. But the car's in really good shape, I think, all things considered, for its age and whatnot. It does look like, you know, this fender might need to be replaced. It's got some cracking and scratches there, I think, where the previous owner had damaged it. But he said he replaced this one, and that this was a cheap part, like $100 and something for that whole fairing. So if that's the case, then fantastic. We'll get another one, no problem. I haven't priced any of the stuff yet. Let me see this. So I tried. This is kind of hard get up here. I want to try to figure out how I can get this out easily. Maybe like that. It's just, it hits this nut here. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what the best way to get this off so I can look underneath is. Maybe I need to open it or move it or something. But I want to look, you know, I really like looking and seeing everything here. Okay, look, so I guess they drilled that hole, decided they need another one. So this whole car, if you haven't been able to tell yet, this sandwich panel, this pretty strong Airman sandwich panel. I mean, this stuff is stout, but and then it's fiberglass or carbon fiber. I forget if it's fiberglass or carbon fiber. It's probably fiberglass, and then foam. And the point that the owner was going with this car was to have the safest car possible for both the driver and the pedestrian. So you know, in his website, he talks about how he had just had a daughter, and you know, his daughter's growing up, and you know, he doesn't want his 10-year-old daughter getting run into by a vehicle and not being able to survive. So with this car, if you bump him, as he puts it, you know, instead of having, you know, to get the safest car out there, I need 1,000 airbags, is what he said. And he's like, with foam, you know, you have millions of airbags. Each one of these disperses the energy really good. So a lot of people's first reaction when they see this is, oh man, if you get hit by a full-size vehicle, you're just going to be crumpled into bits and completely destroyed. And it's actually the opposite. So if you look up some of the other videos online, apparently if you run into things or this thing gets run into, because it's so lightweight, it just kind of like ding ding ding, it just really bounces. And you know, going head on with a glancing blow of a concrete barrier, the car just like dinks out of the way, instead of like your regular cars that crumple, smash, and then come to a complete stop. So this will disperse the energy a lot better. The car itself will move dispersing the energy. The foam acts like a whole lot of tiny airbags, and that's kind of neat. And there's even a video of this thing floating in the water. So technically it's, and there's there's a company in Europe that sells them as an amphibious vehicle. Now it doesn't have any amphibious power. I would not want to submerge the electric motors or the battery or anything like that, so don't expect me to put this in the water. But Whistling Diesel, if you wind up wanting to buy this thing from me one day for an ungodly price, you know, you can do what you want with it. But otherwise, it's my marketing vehicle, and I don't plan on selling it. I've already had offers, and I haven't even had it 48 hours. But it is a riot. Like, literally, this is the funnest car. Maybe not funnest, but maybe funnest. It is just super funny to see the amount of looks this thing gets. I mean, honestly, I don't think any Ferrari, GTO, F40, whatever, is going to get the same amount of looks that this does. This thing, out of the 160 different vehicles, a bunch of different vehicles I've had, gets more looks than anything else. And the driving experience is pretty fun. Like it's not bad. Like, so the suspension, obviously lightweight, fairly bouncy when you're hitting bumps and whatnot. Now, I did actually realize that about 2 of the tires I've got are pretty low. So we're going to air those up before I take my next trip with it here this morning. And the ramp up power is kind of interesting. So from a dead stop, if you just gun it, you know, it's not going to break the tires loose, and it'll get you up to speed really quickly. I mean, honestly, fairly quickly for what it is. Imagine like the fastest stock golf cart you've ever had, where it actually, you know, is surprising. But what's neat is if you're going about 5 to 10 miles an hour, the torque curve, or the torque management, is letting more power through. So let's say from a dead stop, maybe it's giving me 20 to 30% power, and then at 5 to 10 miles an hour, it's giving me like 60% of power, and by 30, I've got full power, so that if I give it gas, it actually is pretty torquey. At like 5 or 10 miles an hour, it's enough to kick the butt end around. This thing will drift. And I might have to get some good videos of it or try that one day. But I did give it some gas as I was going around a turn, and it surprised me when I kicked the butt end out and was able to hold it. So I was pretty excited about that. Oh yeah, I didn't give you a tour of the inside. So check out the inside. So I was just about to go somewhere, I left my wallet in it. But this is the steering wheel. So not gonna lie, it's not the most comfortable seat in the world. This is just a board with some foam underneath it, and then pleather or whatever this is on top. Same with the back, it's literally just flat. So for my regular driving, and if I plan to take this anything more than maybe 10 miles or something like that, I'm probably gonna bring a pillow with me, and maybe in the future we'll get this reupholstered. One of my kind of thoughts was, for the one channel is kind of updating this car and doing things to it that would update the quality of life on it, kind of make it like the car that it could be if we spend a little bit more money on it, so we can kind of see what that looks like. There's a tremendous amount of air gaps, like that's all an air gap and such, so it's not like the quietest car out there, but I haven't taken it through rain. Obviously I've only had it one day, but it's extremely low mileage. I mean, look at this thing, 3,000 miles. So, if we were in our gas car, we're on our first oil change. If even that, not getting in this thing, not too bad. I will say a little complaint. This little deal for the door, I've hit my elbow on that several times now. Well, at least once. But we have a little door lock here, just like that. And yeah, we're inside. Now these windows, give me a quick tour of the window. So window opens going backwards, right? Window opens going forwards. So we've got a dual window here in case you want to kind of have wind blowing at you this way, or if you want to kind of have it hit here and blow back towards your head. It's interesting, and it's not bad. And I can give you, so apparently when you charge it, you have your breakers off, and then when you don't want it to, when you're ready to go, you turn these on. And I didn't bring the keys with me, but when you put the keys in it there, everything will light up. And we've got a nice display here, and we got a display here. So this is our battery system monitor. I think it's a double tap. I might need to have the key in it, actually. I did see it light up there briefly, but we can see that this is monitoring now. So it tells you your volts, your watts, how many miles you've gone, your amp hours, and I guess maybe kilowatts being used. So it's using like 2 kilowatts right now, just being idle. I don't know. I'll turn that off. Yeah, this is the steering wheel. This is probably the weirdest thing, and one of the first things that made me be like, the F, like what are we doing here? So obviously my knee kind of hits it if I got my knee just kind of chilling in a spread stance, but with my legs out here, now I'm not a tall person. I am 5'10", 5'9", 5'11", somewhere in that range, probably 5'9". It's comfortable enough for me, but someone with super long legs would not be able to fit in here. This is not a car for big people or for tall people. I'm seeing my cat come up here, and I don't want him to scratch the foam. So that's one of the concerns I got, and I really need to get this in the car so he doesn't. But I know that he might. I got literally. Okay, go away, Sammy. What? No. Don't come in here. Yeah, he likes to mark it. Anyways, so steering wheel steers by going left and right like this. This is how you steer the thing. It is super funny, and it's not hard at all because of how lightweight it is. It's easy. It does come with a radio. That is our backup camera, which is fairly nice. Not the biggest thing in the world, but it works. We got our gauges here. So this is our turn signal. So up, down, turn signal, release. Horn doesn't work. I need to figure out what's going on with that. I'll figure out the horn. And, we got headlights. Oh, I left the headlights on. That's no good. But I did turn that off, so hopefully it's not dead. It didn't look like it was dead. But yeah, so this is our status lights, headlights. Turtle is actually reverse. We have interior lights. We have a fan on the inside. Our wipers, obviously that. This is another on switch, so you have breaker on, key on, and then power on or something, which is all kind of neat. Top of this thing has essentially nothing. I mean, I guess these are, I don't know what these are. Maybe it's just sandwich panel. Here's our speakers. We got these teeny little tweeters. That would definitely be an upgrade, is maybe putting a decent sound system in it. But everything in here was thought of for safety and gas mileage, and that's pretty much the goal of this vehicle, to be the safest and best gas mileage vehicle you could get, bang for the buck. The inventor is American. He started this company in America, a guy named Lonnie. Lonnie Ballard, and he moved to Thailand because obviously this might get a little bit better acceptance in Thailand, and he's got several models of these up to a van. There's our gas pedals. I haven't even looked up underneath here, so pretty minimalistic. Not sure what that thing hanging down there is. Let's see, is that another speaker there? I can't tell. Yeah, I'm gonna investigate this a little bit more, but that's kind of what's underneath there. Pretty tidy overall, not too bad. And then we can look on the front. So here's our front wheel. So front wheel's not powered, it's just rear-wheel drive. So perfect for drifting. Look at all this room we got in here, man. I mean, it's obviously to let it turn. But nice drilled and slotted rotor disc brakes. There's our brake master cylinder there. We do have a little bit of, what is this? So I'm not sure what that is, but that's some like carbon fiber vinyl wrap that is covering up something. I'm gonna have to take that off and replace it with something else, because it looks like it's trying to cover maybe some electronics from getting soaking wet or something like that. You know, one of the interesting kind of notes is you can see how this front tire is bolted to what looks like, you know, a double stack, super, you know, adhesived, maybe triple stack of that sandwich panel. And just to kind of show you how light this car is, I'm just going to lift here in the front, and we can see that, you can see the shock kind of raise up. But there's videos of people just taking this thing, or photos of people taking it and lifting it completely standing upright, just a single person. So it's not it's apparently not hard to do that. Got some nice projector lights. They're a little weak, one's a different K than the other one. So someone didn't, I guess one went out and someone replaced it and replaced it with the wrong one. Another little thing I noticed, you know, the coverage of this windshield wiper is going to be pretty narrow. What's up, Paris? Hey, Paris. Hey, kitty. So we'll probably need a new one of these too. I'm sure it's never ever been used, but is now too old to be practical. But yeah, it'll cover the center for sure. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go wash this thing. I'm gonna air up the tires and drive it around some more. But man, everywhere I drive this thing, people are rubbernecking hard. I had a lady hit a curb looking at this thing. I had kids, you know, mouth agape, putting their hands on their head. It is hilarious. And you know, if you're going just a little bit quick, you know, if you're going like 5 to 10 miles an hour and you want to punch it, you know, it's going to accelerate fairly quickly to where people are like, whoa, you know. So I'm super excited about this car. Comment down below some ideas for modifications on this. You know, should I 3D print panels? And if I do, should I make them some type of cool pattern? Should it just be something that covers this? Maybe I change it a little bit, or maybe add some type of effect to it. You know, I could make it look like waves going down here, or flames. I don't know, flames would be lame. But the previous owner had bought this thing, which lights up at night just as an extra light, I guess. But he kind of had a decent idea of like, man, how cool it'd be to have a shark fin. And I took it further with, oh, if we did a shark fin maybe up to here, you know, and the back of it was had 3D print everything in it, and then it was hollow on the inside, and I tied that into the brake light. You know, every time you're behind this thing, you would see a 1, 2, 3 brake light, and then a 4th brake light say 3D print everything. That would be kind of cool, maybe. But yeah, this Spira. There's several other Spiras. These things, I think this spec goes for about 11,000 new. So I bought it for less than that. And like I said, I don't know how many there are, but I had a feeling with how many people had hit up the previous owner that if I wasn't the first person out there to buy this thing, and if I you know, then someone else would have snagged it if I liked it. You know, if I said give me 2 days to think about it, he would have sold it in a couple of hours. So I was really happy with the owner of with the owner of the previous owner of the car, that he was able to work with me and had postponed several people coming out to look at the car as I debated over it for about 3-4 hours. Because I can imagine, if you're asking yourself, would you drive this or would you own it, there's people that are definitely like, yes, that's exactly what I want, and you know, I need the weirdest, goofiest thing out there. And then there's other people that need something practical, and would absolutely never be seen dead in this. And there's people like me that are kind of in the middle, and I want something practical, like a daily driver, but it's got to be something cool. So I get a mob-looking car with a supercharged V8 in it, and you know, I've got my diesel truck over there that's also, you know, super fun, but not gas economical. And that car's not mine; it's stepdaughter's. So I needed something gas economical, and this fit the bill. So this is where we it fit the bill to a degree. One thing I didn't mention was AC. There's our little teeny plate and our backup camera. But yeah, one thing that it does not have air conditioning. It does have heated seats, which is kind of cool. So it can kind of keep you warm. You know, it doesn't have a blowed heater. It might not be the funnest car in like snow or ice. Obviously I wouldn't take this out in that, but otherwise it would probably be you know, okay in colder weather. You know, right now it's brisk. I'll just wear a long sleeve and I'm comfortable. But yeah, this is a Spira, guys. What are your thoughts? Here's what I want your comments on if you would drive this and what your thoughts are of it. And yeah, you know, how silly and goofy of a person I am for buying it. If you would buy it and want this thing, not that I'm trying to sell it or anything, I'm just curious, would anybody else be interested in something so goofy like this for any purpose, practicality, or just to stand out? Because mine's a little bit of both. And you know, what modifications can I do to it? What do you see here that would be really cool to see if I 3D printed it? Yeah, you know, there's nothing stopping me from 3D printing and, you know, maybe extending the nose a little bit into some type of shape. Maybe I 3D print a shark head, and we drive around a freaking shark, and then I give it a couple fins on the side and maybe a tail coming out the back. I mean, I don't really want to drive around a shark, let's be honest. I think the shark fin would kind of fit it a little bit there. But yeah, you know, what else can you think of? You know, anything cool here? I don't know. But otherwise, I'm super excited. Let me know your thoughts. And if you want to check this out, we're in North Texas. Just look up 3D Print Everything and give me a call, and we can meet up. But I'll be taking this to car meets. I'll be driving this around town. We just got some new office spaces for 3D Print Everything, so we're gonna be doing a lot here. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, everyone. Otherwise, Michael out. Have a good day.